everybody, what's up? It's Grace, and right now I'm going to be doing my 2018 TBR. This video is being sponsored by Simon & Schuster, so thank you so much to them. Last year I was very ambitious with my TBR, and my mood was like, you know, I'm gonna read freaking like 200 books this year, and let me tell you, no. I read, I think, maybe 20, and I did enjoy some of them, but for the most part, it was the suckiest reading year of me life, okay? This year I'm not going in with crazy big expectations and trying to like stack up the numbers of books that I read. I believe quality over quantity. I just want to read what I want and not feel pressured to stack up the amount, and I really just want this year to just be a genuinely good reading year, and I want to learn a lot from the books that I read and grow. So I hope that my reading journey for 2018 is going to be epic, but I again don't want to like put too many expectations in that. So without further ado, let's get on with my little stack. So the first two books that I want to read this year are Scythe and Thunderhead, books 1 and book 2 in the Arc of a Scythe series by Neil Shusterman. These books sound epic. But what this series is about, it's set in a world where there is no disease, no hunger, no war, no misery. Humanity has basically conquered all things, and it is seemingly perfect. But there are these things called scythes, and they are designed to kill, and they are the world's means of population control. And so our main characters, Citra and Rowan, they are trained and destined to be scythes. This isn't the path that they want to follow, but they were basically born into it, so that is their only option. And if they decide to deter from it, then it pretty much means their death. So either way, it's a closed door for them. And so essentially it's about their journey of trying to find a place where there is no place for them. Like, there is no place, and it just sounds really interesting. I love this idea. I really am a firm believer that there has to be balance of all things, and to have this idea of a seemingly perfect world, there's no such thing. There will always be good and always be bad and always be disease and death. And that's just life, and so I'm really looking forward to reading these two. And Thunderhead released on January 9th, so this month. Next book that I want to read this year, I've wanted to read it for quite a long time, and that is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafran. This book is one of those rare books that it is just all 5-star reviews. There's a lot of people that I talk with around the book community that say that this is their favorite book of all time, and so, you know, I'm ready to read this. This is set in 1945 in Barcelona, and the city is just trying to heal from all the destruction of the war. And our main character, Daniel, he is the bookkeeper's son, and he's mourning the loss of his mother. And there's this book that he finds comfort in, and it's called The Shadow of the Wind by Julian Caract. He goes up on this journey to find all of the other author's works. But as he goes on this adventure, he starts to see that the author's works are being systematically destroyed, and as he continues to seek why these books are being destroyed, a bunch of crazy, dark, sinister stuff happens, and it's not what he expects. It's a sort of innocent journey, and it turns into something completely different from what he thought it would be, and it just sounds epic and awesome and heart-wrenching and good. I've never read a book set in Barcelona, so I am ready. So the next thing that I want to read is a graphic novel, and I want to read as many graphic novels as I can this year because they are just so easy to read, so entertaining, and what better way than to just go with a classic. That is Scott Pilgrim Volume 1 by Brian Lee O'Malley. If you're not familiar with what this is about, there's a movie that's super popular. I haven't seen it myself, but like everyone loves it, and it's just such a hyped up movie, and so I'm like, I really want to read this graphic novel series so I could see the movie. So we follow this guy, Scott Pilgrim. He's in high school, and he really starts to like this girl. Her name is Ramona Flowers, but in order for him to be able to date her, he has to defeat her her 7 evil ex-boyfriends, and it just is so funny, and the concept is so creative, and I think it's just gonna be so fun. Another thing that I really like is the freaking art style. It is so cute. I just love it, so I'm very, very excited to read this. The next book that I want to read this year is The Darkest Hour by Tony Shoemaker. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, I'm not sure. But this is a novel. It's set in 1946, and it's set as if the Nazi powers actually won the war, and Nazis are taking over Great Britain. We follow our main character, John Henry Rossett, and he is a war hero, a former police sergeant, and he's just a man accustomed to obeying every single rule he's given. But once he's given the task of rounding up Jewish families and sending them off to work camps, he can't bring himself to do that because it's not just random families, it's families that he grew up with and their children. So it's going against every fiber of his being. Now either he has two options of just doing it, or he cannot do it, try to come up with an escape plan and save them, but at the same time he'd most likely be caught and tried for treason and killed. So either way, what he chooses, it's most likely just doesn't seem like it's gonna turn out right. Love books with this sort of storyline because it deals with your sense of true self and going against what's easy and what's right, and I love it. It's set during World War II as if the Nazi powers actually won, so it's very interesting and intriguing, and I'm just very, very excited to read this. I know there's a movie out right now called TheDarkest Hour, and I think it's set during World War II, but I don't believe it's the same storyline, but I don't know. The last book that I really, really want to read is The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. This novel is set in London in 1812, so just the setting alone has me so excited to read this. We follow a young girl, she's 18, her name is Lady Helen, and her life should revolve around gowns, dancing, and securing a suitable marriage, but one day her maid goes missing and she seeks answers. So she ends up going to like the underground London, and there she finds this guy, his name is Lord Carlston, and he is there to kill demons. So this book is set in London in 1812 and it deals with demons. So it just reminds me of The Infernal Devices, which is one of my favorite series. So I just want another book series that's like set in that time, deals with sort of the same stuff but has its own thing to like set itself apart. I've heard nothing but good things about Alison Goodman's series. Yeah?
Sorry.
You're good.
When you're eating spicy food, what do you do? What do you drink?
Water?
No. Yes, water.
Milk?
Don't you?
Milk.
You drink milk.
Yeah, but I don't drink milk because I don't like milk. I own her Aeon duology, which I have yet to read, but that sounds really interesting as well, and I do want to read that. But yes, I'm very excited to hopefully be getting to it this year. I mean, I should. I have all year. So those are all the books that I hope to be getting to in 2018. Obviously, I'm gonna read like more, but those are the books specifically that I want to be getting to. If you've read any of these books and you want to tell me what you think, I would love to know, or what books you're really wanting to read or anticipating. I want to do a separate video of my most anticipated releases of this year. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.